waiting. Why is it so long?
We're up there.
I know. I'm looking up here. Why is it taking so long to connect?
I don't know. It says it's excellent connection.
Well, hello. Welcome to Drawing with Fire. I'm Valarie, neighborhood pyrography artist. I'm joined with hubby.
Hubcap.
And today we're going to do a Christmas card because why not? Cartoons are way out of my wheelhouse. I have a hard time because I like realism. It makes sense to my brain. So cartoons tend to be a little harder for me. So I figured, why not? So I made this card. Have you had your special cocoa this holiday season? Because normally I have a lot of hot cocoa, but I don't today. I forgot to make it.
Do you want me to make it?
No. We don't have any special stuff. So there's a reason there's lines around this box.
It's honey flavored. It's not cinnamon flavored.
No, it's okay. Can I have the mat right there?
This one?
The brown one, yeah.
This.
So we're going to make a card out of this, but we're going to use a mat so we have less cutting to do and attach cardboard.
I need to see what the barking is about.
Them being dogs. Cardstock. That's the word I was looking for. Cardstock on the back so that you can write something. And the purpose is you're spending a while making these cards. Why not make it in a way that they can just pop it in a frame and save it? So that's what we're going to be doing with this project. Next week we will add watercolors to it. So that's what these lines are, so that I knew I would be inside the mat. If you're going to do this, I would suggest buying maybe more holiday colored mats. But this is what I've got, so that's what I'm going to use. All right. Hey, Kathy, Carrie, Sonia, Sheila, Spence, Burl, Carmen. I think I got everybody for now. So right now I'm heating up my 19M ball tip because we're actually going to start with the lettering first. And you know how much I don't care for lettering, but we're going to do it. Surprisingly enough, I added it. So I'm using, this is 300-pound fluid watercolor paper. This is cold press, which I'm totally fine with because when we add the watercolors, I'm going to be hopefully a little more creative with blooms and whatnot. So I'm not worried about that. If you would rather hot press, I do have that linked for Amazon down below as well. But it's only 140 pounds. And 140 pounds, though perfectly fine to burn on, can warp a little bit. Whereas with the 300 pound, because it's thicker paper, is less likely. It's not going to warp as much. It will still warp, just not as much. So I do have a piece of paper, same kind of paper, off to my side. And 3 is not going to be hot enough, so I'm going to bump it up to 4. Because on the regular lettering, I'd rather, if possible, just to do one pass. So when I transferred it, I transferred in the middle of the letters as much as I could. That way I could use a thicker pen and just make one pass. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Just waiting. Because remember, paper requires a higher heat for the same value as wood. But I don't want to burn through it, which is possible, but again, with 300 pound, I'm gonna have to be on a red hot tip for that to happen. All right, I'm gonna bump it down to 4.5, and we should be good. Now, the watercolor paper is going to smell different when you're burning it. 1, because it's paper. 2, I'm using cotton paper, and so cotton is going to smell different. 3, it has what's called sizing on it. So that's a gelatin that's fine to burn on, but it's a gelatin that they put into the paper in order for it to work differently with watercolors. So
essentially what it does is it knocks down the poofy fibers of the paper.
Oh, okay.
And
I guess
so you have a flatter, more uniform, less fuzzy surface to paint on. So that's what the sizing is.
Now, because I'm not burning on hot press, I am going to have to deal with the texture of the paper. And in my brain, I had to be okay with this. We can actually go. See, I don't want the overburn, which I am getting a little bit of it. But I would like to just be able to go. So I have to decide, do I not want the overburn or do I want to just go? So I bumped down to 4. I would rather not have the overburn. And because this is 300-pound paper, you can use a light pad, but the patterns tend to be really hard to see. In fact, I left my light pad out so we can show them, but it's not plugged in, so they're not going to be able to see the light. Oh, the cord for it's right here.
What do you want to do something?
Just so they can see what a light pad is. It is helpful.
Okay.
Whether it is to make patterns, if you don't have an ability to draw them digitally, I made this pattern and you can just put it in front of you. They'll see the light.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay, here's the plug.
Okay.
It's on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I get that.
Or you can transfer to watercolor paper.
If you had a glass table,
You can use a glass table, Put your cell phone underneath with a flashlight on.
yeah, or just a flashlight.
Yep.
Okay. So that's plugged in, and you can see it's thin. Maybe. Actually, they can't see me.
Oh, yeah, they can. You're right there.
Well, no,
it's very
you
thin.
just lean forward.
Oh.
So.
It's 3 settings for this one. So it lights up, but because of how thick this paper is, I'm going to show real quick. Because of how thick this paper is, where'd it go? 1, 2, 3. It doesn't show very well through it. So that's why I had to transfer to graphic paper. Okay, that's it. That's it. But 140 pounds works totally fine. On my Amazon list, I do have a light pad listed. Alright, let's get back to this. So I'm just going to go over my lettering. This is wide enough. And the pattern itself I made in Canva and then had to draw out the reindeer. The graphics in Autodesk Sketchbook. Yeah.
Spence says you've got this, Val.
Yeah.
Was Spence here? Or did he just arrive?
No, he's here. He said hi.
Burl says, okay, got it traced, but doing a 4.5 diameter wood disc.
See, I actually, because he had asked me what size it's going to do, it's on, there we go. My lettering looked like it was way off, but it's not. What I put in the special group is 5x7. This one, because of how I'm going to turn it into a card, I backed it down to 3.5 by 5.5.
Burl says she's using a 9ms for small print.
Yeah. Well, the 9ms is going to come out. It's going to be for the thinner lines on Special Cocoa and for some details in the reindeer.
I don't know why she's wound up.
Yeah.
I don't know why specifically.
Because she can. So we'll do these 2 letterings and then we'll pop down to the graphic. That way I can say I did lettering on screen, on live. If I want it darker, I can always go back over it. But again, I didn't want the halo. And this is burned. So if I wanted black, I should have applied it with ink. But it's totally okay. We want it to look burned.
This is a very fancy card. Now, is this, when you get this done, are you going to use this as a basis to do Christmas cards?
No, I've already got their Christmas cards.
No, I mean in the future. Like, is this something that you might?
I might.
Because we've got a couple of holiday things like this that you've done. You could probably put out a line of Christmas cards if you wanted.
Oh, I guess I could, couldn't I? Didn't even think about that.
Yeah, why not? I mean, the originals. I mean, the originals are fancy. That's a fancy gift, you know. But
I'm trying to figure out what.
But you know, a Christmas card is, you know, pyrography, even though it's a print, is still pretty special.
Yeah. All right, let me find the red pen.
I would buy it.
You would buy it.
Yep.
All right, 9MS. We're gonna do this for the thin part of the lettering.
I have only ever done successfully done Christmas cards once. One time in my whole life. You know how like people do like, hey, it's, you know, Merry Christmas from the Smiths.
Yeah.
You know? The only time I ever did it was when I was single, and I was in Germany, and it was a picture of me and my helicopter. And
you just wanted to show off your.
Well, it was cool, right? And then but that's the only time I've ever done that. I was like, yeah, I did it this year, and not again since. So that was like 92. So it's been a while. I really would like to like be more organized and do that kind of thing, you know. Like I'm always jealous of like, you know, the very crafty people like Martha Stewart ish kind of person that's like, oh, I did custom Christmas cards this year. It's like, damn you, Martha.
I didn't know you wanted to do that.
Well, I do. It's just we have so many other things that are going constantly. It's like a wave that we have to keep above water.
So this is the 9M. I kept it on 4. And right now I'm just putting in the thin lines. Because
Okay.
I can go back.
I know her barking. I don't. I try to get her to be quiet.
Okay. So I'm just putting in the thin stuff right now. And then we can come back with a thinner pen. Got that one off. I'm trying to keep moving so I don't get a blob. Oh, I hope your shirt gets there. Oh, Kathy got the Bernadette ugly sweater. Oh, that's awesome. I just got mine too on the right side. Actually, I got it like really big. It's so awesome. Now Bernadette's going to be wandering the streets. I love it. I love it. Definitely post a photo. I want to see. Alright. So I'm just overlapping where the two thicker lines come together. That way when I go in, it'll be easy to connect. Making sure I got all my tails. And then we're going to switch over. I think I got them all. So now, based on the thickness of this, I'm actually going to use the small ball tip. That way, it helps if I grab the... Oh, I was using the 9MS instead of the 9M. Let me find my small. Where's my small? Where are you hiding? Sometimes pens get placed where they're not supposed to be. Why can I not find this? Large, extra large, medium. Where are you hiding? This is weird. How can I not find my ball tip? Because it was in the wrong place and throwing me off. Found it. Just throwing me off. It was right in front of my face. Oh, I couldn't find the small ball tip. It was right in front of my face. But because it has two foams on it, I was missing it. What are you...
What?
You just wanted to go grab something to eat.
No, they knocked the gate down.
Ah.
That's not where they're barking.
It is armpit hair. It is.
Mark.
It's like the fufu on the top of the head. It's under the arms too.
What the hell?
That's how the... See, look, there's little foos. You don't have to put it, I don't think, if you want to. But it's like the...
Why did you do that?
I didn't. That's the graphic that I used.
Oh.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, it's weird.
I know. I thought it was too. But at the same time, I was like, well... I guess being a reindeer would have a fuzzy armpit. Alrighty. So it's still on 4. Let's get this in here. Looks like I could have stayed with the medium.
Well, Shirley says that's an interesting approach to lettering. She never thought of doing it that way, but it makes sense. Spence wants a shirt design with the dreaded blob.
The dreaded blob. Alright. I need to make a folder with t-shirt ideas. I don't want to have like a ton on the website where it gets confusing. There already is because of the holiday and how they organize. This way I can like have different stuff because I'm wearing just the tip. You can't see it, and I'll stand up in a few. Let's see here. Oh, see, this was a thin right here. I missed it, so very softly put it in. You see, to me, this feels easier on doing. I know we're having to use 2 different pens, but I have more control. More control with it. Actually, I guess technically I'm using 3 pens because I use the medium on the top lettering.
I have your sound all the way down.
It's a notification.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to make this as even as I can. I can always go back and thicken it. So I need to not stress about it. I do feel I have more control over my lettering doing it this way. And Kathy just got her Bernadette ugly sweater.
I like that. I like that particular design. I actually like it better than the hubcap design. The hubcap design's cool, but I think that Bernadette looks really, really good.
Well, I was going to start wearing them next week. I just wanted to wait till we actually made it past Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Carrie wants to know what kind of paper did you say you're using?
This is, you've got it's right here. Can you go? I left it out so that I could show it. I see here. He's in the UK. I do think you can get this in the UK. The paper brand that I like to burn on is Fluid 100. But yeah, I make sure it's cotton, 100% cotton, because wood pulp burns differently. And the wood, if it doesn't say cotton, then it's wood pulp.
Seems like you'd probably have more consistent quality with the cotton than the wood pulp.
Well, if I'm going to, more times than not, if I'm going to burn on paper, I'm going to be adding color. And wood pulp just accepts color differently. It paints differently. If you're using hot press, wood pulp paper and colored pencil would be totally fine.
Excuse me.
I'm just trying to darken just a little bit. I tried to go with as simple lettering as possible. There's some really detailed lettering out there. But something this small, the simpler the lettering, the better. Plus, it's a cartoon.
I dislike lettering. I'm trying to avoid it whenever I can.
I kind of felt like for a card, needed the lettering. Now, the inside of the card I could print out or handwrite. I may do a drawing with just the Super Toasties name and just stick it in one of their packages. I haven't decided yet. So I'm going to use a knife and just clean off just a little bit. You can use a knife on watercolor paper, but you got to be careful. You got to be careful. And if you're adding color later, it will change the properties of the paper. All right, so there we go. We got some lettering. I'm going to go ahead, because it's taking longer than I expected, I'm going to go ahead and pop down to our reindeer. So let me back it out a little bit. Now, this reindeer has outlines. And most times you hear me say don't outline. But in this case, outline.
I was going to say you love doing outlines. So
Outline. Now, let's see here. How thick do I want
well, that's cool.
the outline? I think I'm going to go ahead and stick with the medium. So the main outline on this is around the edge of it. So I'm going to switch back over to the medium. What's cool?
Oh, I usually don't watch in full screen.
Oh, and how's it?
It's nice. Because normally I'm watching chat, but I mean, I can watch chat here too. I just...
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just waiting for the pen to heat up. Ball tips do take a little bit longer, and that's because you've got so much metal in a very small area that you're trying to heat up.
So which tip are you using?
The medium ball tip.
Oh, okay.
And update photo and group. What did Burl do?
I don't know.
I need to update the photo? And if I do, I will. Alrighty. So we're going to start. You know what? Start with the eyes. It's always the easiest to start with the eyes. So we'll start with the eyes. Now we have a thick outline around this side of the eye. So we're going to go ahead and get that in first.
Oh. Pearl says, no, her burn is in the group.
Oh, okay, okay. I just gotta look. So I'm just dragging nice and slow. And where it needs to be thinner, I will switch over to the 9M. Alright, here, we got some thick lines. I may have made them a little thicker than they are in the cartoon, but that's totally okay.
That's fine. Is this going to have color in it?
Mm-hmm. Next week.
Oh, so you're doing the burning part of this.
Today.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
How are you going to handle, like, the Christmas tree, then? Is that going to be all color, or are you outlining that, or what are you doing?
That's what I'm trying to I'm still thinking about that. I'm thinking I might outline it.
That's what I would do. You know, easiest way.
Well, again, this is supposed to be cartoony and silly.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that it would match well with the reindeer.
Yeah. And since I've done everything else, I think it needs to be. Now I'm going to thicken these inner lines and put a little tail on them, but when I switch pens, I'll switch then.
What do you mean put a little tail on them?
There's a little line that thins out like a wing at the end of these some of these lines, so I need to use a thinner pen to get that little wing.
I think that's just a stylistic choice, though.
It is.
I see it now that you mentioned it. But then again, you created this, so that's your style that you're going for.
I didn't draw the reindeer.
Oh.
I put together the whole composition.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I drew
Now
it for the pattern.
Now I understand what's going on.
Because again, I don't do good with cartooning. And I know this. That's okay. So I found something I liked, multiple things I liked, and put them together. Because the reindeer wasn't holding the cup, I added that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, including the lettering, different elements. Now this shows it's darker, so.
Kathy wants to know what kind of color are you going to use on this? Ink, acrylic,
Watercolor.
watercolor.
Watercolor. I haven't done any watercolor in a long time. Kind of miss it.
Okay. Well, we used to do it every Sunday.
Yep. I did. We haven't. The pandemic hit and couldn't go out. Alright, so there's a line that goes across here. So let's just put it in there. I do want to burn as much as possible and use the watercolor as an ad.
Almost like a coloring book.
Yeah, but that's why I want more burning, so it doesn't look. Okay, let's put that in there. All right, so right now, he looks like he's wearing glasses right now.
He does.
Because of how I've done this.
Carrie wants to know, can you use watercolor pencils?
Yep.
What are you using are you going to be using the pencils, or are you using...
No, I'm going to use my actual watercolors. Are you asking if I can do it for this one, or can you use watercolor pencils? Because watercolor pencils are what I use to add color on wood. Like I said, I miss my watercolors.
If this weather keeps up, we might have snow tonight.
30% chance.
It's only 40 degrees out there right now. So we're getting rain. But
it's supposed to be for the higher elevations.
Yes.
Alright, let's connect this. And I am trying to raise my pen up and let it what?
Carrie says in general.
Yep.
Could you use watercolor pencils?
Yep, I've got lives where we did that.
Yep.
Because that is my main, if I'm adding color to a burning. On wood.
Did we do that with the ornaments? Did we do watercolor pencils?
No. The last ornaments, no.
Okay.
No. That was with stain and glitter.
What about when we did the Christmas tree ornaments a couple years ago?
No. No.
Ah.
No.
Well, I'm just asking.
Keep trying.
I'm all out. No more tries.
get this curve on here. The llamas. I'm trying to think what videos, because we did something recently, the llamas, but
Was Eddie pencils?
was Eddie?
Yeah.
I didn't do a live with adding color to that, to Eddie.
No, I was just asking.
Watercolors.
Okay.
Watercolors.
Okay.
Watercolors. See, I could, I'm going to bump up to 4.5. This is taking so much longer.
So Shirley is asking, how do watercolor pencils work better on wood?
Because I use a board that I can scrape out the color, use a little bit of water on my paintbrush, mix the color, pull the water as much as possible from the brush while leaving color on the tip, and then put it in.
But you're not actually using a pencil then?
Directly on, no.
Oh, you're just using it as like a...
I'm using it almost like watercolor.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to think what... So many videos.
Kathy wants us to send rain her way.
We just got it. It's the first time since the beginning of October.
She's the one that is down south
Mesa?
of us? Yeah.
We just got it.
Yeah, we did. We haven't had any rain in some time.
Trying to get this in so we can do some of the lighter shading as well. Paper does take longer to burn.
Why is that?
It's just a different material. It's just the properties of it.
I suppose it's more densely packed.
Yeah. So I can at least get the head in. So we can see what's going on. Let's see here. We got a thick line around the nose. So like I'll burn the darker part of the nose down here, but where it's lighter, that's where I'll add color. But if it goes over the burning, because I try to use transparent watercolor, the burning will still show through. And that's one of the reasons I love using, if I'm going to add color, using watercolor, whether it's pencils or watercolors, because other mediums may say they're transparent, but they are meant to cover. Even if they're layering, and you're still seeing some of that layer underneath, it's still less transparent.
Okay.
So, if I'm going to take the time to burn it, I want to see the burning. And that's my thought. I mean, some people will burn and then cover it in acrylic.
Yeah, I don't like that though.
I don't care for it either, but that's their art.
Yeah, because like you said, you've taken the time to do some lovely pyrography, and then you're going to cover it all up. And it's like, well, and of course that makes it a mixed media, but if you can't see the pyrography, then, why are you doing that?
Yeah. Yeah, see, to me, that's... And there's one particular artist I have in mind, but no reason for names.
No.
It becomes an acrylic with pyrography, not a pyrography with color added, in my brain. The main medium should be the first thing said in my head.
Yeah, and like most of your pieces, when they do have color added, it is an accent. It's a tint or a stain. But it's an accent to the burning, and it's not the show. It's not the showcase.
Yeah. Well, this one.
Not
It's just meant for
not
fun.
most of all of your work is like that. You don't cover up your work.
And then the people who burn over color, whew,
Well, that can be toxic.
it is toxic. Acrylics,
They're plastic. They're a polymer.
polymer plastic. Yep. Now I'll address this real quick for anybody who's watching like on replay or just not in chat. Some people would say print this out and then just burn over the ink. The ink is toxic as well. So I never recommend it. If somebody wants to do it, they're adults.
Well, and then
But don't go telling other people to do it.
and you're gonna hear the argument that like, oh, the toxicity is such a minute amount that it's not.
Or you're
gonna-
burning anyway.
It's not going to affect you. But the reality of it is, especially if you do a lot of the work, that it adds up over time. And as a no certified safety manager, I can tell you that it does add up over time. And cumulatively, you'll end up having health problems if you do it over and over again. So it's not a recommended practice.
To be honest, those are people who feel less confidence in themselves.
Well, a lot of people like to have this devil may care, attitude, like, it's not going to matter.
It's just art.
But, but then it also goes down to, especially if you have other people in your household, like, you don't know who's sensitive to what. So,
Yeah.
it might be fine for you, but it may not be fine for, your kids or your pets. You don't know. So,
I'm going to get this one horn in or antler, and then I'll switch over and put the little details in so we can at least see.
okay. Kathy says, looking great, Val.
And go. Definitely not used to doing this kind of outlining.
Yeah.
I just realized on your guys' screen, it looks less brown. So let me fix that real quick.
It looks pretty dark, but you can see that there's a brownness to it. It just looks like dark
There we
brown. That's all.
go. Well, it is a little... Now it's closer to what I'm looking at.
Carrie says, great advice. Thank you.
Well, bottom line, if somebody's giving you a suggestion or saying, this is what I do your research. And in fact, I have a blog post on it with links so you can go read what I've read. Plus, there's the email from Canon of me specifically asking about it.
Yeah. I mean, it comes down to, like, do you want to do something the right way? Sounds a little heavy-handed, but
Yeah.
But that's really what it comes down to. Is do you want to take the time and do something correctly, or do you want to take shortcuts? And
Well, some people just want to take shortcuts.
a lot of people do want to take shortcuts, but that's the difference between, it's their choice. But for me, that's the difference in the quality as well.
Yeah, I've been burning. It'll be 16 months next month.
Yes, Carrie. Better to be safe than sorry.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
And my brain is very much research oriented.
No.
So
Really?
So if I don't know, I definitely go look. And most of the time, I know because I've already looked.
That's true.
I've already looked. I've talked to experts.
Yes, Hermione, you have.
Hey, Hermione is a compliment. All right, so we got it here.
I'm aware of this.
That is a compliment to me. I don't know about Hermione, but to me it is. All right, I'm going to switch over to the extra small spear shader. I'm going to bump down to 4. We're going to start a little light because we can always darken it. And actually, where we have some of these lines that separate dark and light, we can actually use the extra small spear shader to do that. What is all that noise?
That's my phone updating. It just restarted.
Oh, okay.
There was an update.
Yeah, Carmen says she doesn't mind a little color, but pyrography is wood burning. To each their own. Yep. Did I say months?
Years.
Did I? Because Burl's going 16 months or 16 years?
I think you did say months.
Did I say months?
I didn't catch it either, though.
16 years. Years. December of 2005.
That's like 5. That's like forever.
Yes, it is. With this tip, I'm actually going to bump down to 3.5 because it burns hotter. I forgot about that. I know. It's like forever. Forever and ever. So let's... So see, I'm at 3.5, and we can see how dark. In fact, I'm probably going to go over the outline with this, just to smooth it out.
Spence says, yeah, he said once.
Did I?
Good catch. Thank you. Spence says, but we knew.
We knew. Alrighty. Now paper does...
Sheila says, we're just going to say, I've been watching Val a lot longer than that. So.
Yeah. So I'm using just the tip.
There it is.
Top half. Oh, yeah. I'm going to stand up for a minute. I'm going to have to push myself away. Ha! I'm spinning the wrong way.
You right?
Yes. I'm showing the shirt.
Gotcha.
I can't. Yes. There we go. So I'm using just the tip. And it's backwards.
Yes.
But that sucks.
But they know.
They know. Let's make this little again. Now I gotta rearrange everything to get back. You're not wearing. Oh, you are wearing your shirt.
My shirt. Of course
Well, you can stand up. They can see yours better than they can see mine.
Okay.
Careful.
Yeah.
And he's powered by. No. You always do that. It goes up like this. Up
Okay.
like,
All right.
pull it up here. Powered by Optima. Do it right. So. I need
says,
it.
awesome. Can't wait to get his.
I know.
Carmen says, and that's why she asked you for advice. You got many years of experience.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And I am going to brag a little bit and a bunch of ribbons.
Yeah.
Bunch of ribbons.
Yeah, I found another ribbon out there on the counter.
No, I think what you found was my tag for competition.
It's a blue ribbon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. So, see how we're getting some of our darks in. Fixing my
Carmen
lines.
says the front circle made out of rubber, or is the shirt stained yellow? Well, it's a little... I can tell.
It's a big circle.
It's a big circle. I can tell that it's...
Oh, yeah. It's printed on.
Yeah.
It's printed on. Is that what she's asking?
I think so, yeah. I think because, like some shirts over time, if they're... I think shirt technology has improved a lot, but shirts that have that kind of transfer on them will eventually crack and fade. Burl says your shirt should be powered by special cocoa. Yeah, that's true.
You don't have your other coffee mug in here. I have the Bernadette coffee mug that says special cocoa on it.
It's in the washer.
Oh. Okay. All right. So I'm just smoothing it out. Just the tip.
Have these guys seen the Christmas ugly sweaters?
No, not yet.
Yeah, they're really good. I really like the Bernadette one.
Well, Kathy has because she has hers.
Oh, there you go.
So she knows. She said it was really cute. So I'm thickening up. I'm using the edge. Thickening up. And I'll pull it to make it thinner. So this pen is working well for...
Oh.
You okay?
Yeah, it's my neck.
Tightening things up. Yeah, see, it's smoothing out the burn. If the lettering was bigger, you could use this for lettering. Would not a problem. But it is little lettering. And I do have to be careful not to cut too much into the paper. If you're using 140 pound, you do have to pay a little bit more attention. But luckily...
Why is that?
Because it's thinner than this.
Okay.
I'm using a very thick paper. I mean, this is really thick.
So the Toasties are saying this design would make a good Christmas t-shirt. And to be honest, when I came out on the porch last night and I saw you working on this, that's what I thought it was. I thought you were working on another shirt design.
Oh. Well, then maybe I should. Maybe I should. I was just trying.
If you had your special cocoa this holiday season, yes, because sometimes
I need the
you
special
need the
cocoa.
special cocoa,
And that's
more
why.
than ever.
And that's why I said it. And that is exactly why. So he's lighter up here, so I can go flat and pull it in.
Kathy says she's going to wear hers during the holidays.
Yay.
That's cool.
I am too.
Yeah, I am too.
In fact, I'll wear my ugly sweater next Tuesday. I didn't today because, like I said, we got to get the Thanksgiving first.
Well.
Now, with paper, anywhere that's white, you just don't burn. You just don't burn.
So it's like watercolor in that way?
Yep.
Yeah,
You use the white of the paper for it. And then you don't have to worry about it. See, I did pretty dark with this line, so I gotta go darker. Kind of blend it in. I went a little too dark with that line. But again, it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
So it means I need to darken this area. So I'm just using the tip in oval circles very quickly. You know what? We're going to add some lights in here. You see, now it feels off to me. It's a cartoon. It's a cartoon. It's a cartoon.
Why does it feel off?
Because I feel like I went too dark right here.
Well, I mean, color the other ear. It'll probably equal out. Right?
It's a cartoon. It's a cartoon.
Yes, it is.
I'm talking to myself.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking to
I thought we were
myself.
having a conversation.
No, I'm telling
But
myself that so that I can.
This is like when you talk to the TV. Like, you're not going to answer back.
They don't hear me on the TV. Very frustrating. I told them the answer and they're not listening to me. So now I do have to go dark with this because I went dark with that. But I can control it a little bit better. Let's see here. See, I do have a sepia piece that I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
This goes thicker, so I'm going to angle my pen just a hair to thicken up the
Andrea
line.
says, looking good, Val. Stop being hard on yourself.
Oh,
I
thank
agree,
you.
Andrea. Spence says, I'm going to wear my shirt all year long.
And that's why I got this one in t-shirt as well, so I can wear it all year long. I want all the silly looks the whole time. So just the tip, moving quickly. And so I need to make sure I try to keep everything that's in the same lighting the same as much as I can. Now with paper, if you overburn, if you have it too hot, you will start lifting the paper. It'll start separating.
Oh.
And it'll make a mess. Just the edge. So this is actually lighter. I went pretty dark there, so I'll have to go dark here. And by doing it on both sides, it looks like I did it on purpose.
Well, I mean, despite whatever your decision process may have been, ultimately you decided to go darker to match it, so you did do it on purpose.
That's true. That is true. I'm just trying to get some of the graphite out of the lighter area before I burn.
Gotcha.
Before I burn.
How much longer are you going today?
Oh.
We have about 6 minutes till the top of the hour.
All right. What else do they want to see real quick? Because I guess I got to get this burned for next week.
Oh, so for the color.
For the color. I should have gone later with this. But I didn't. So now when watercolor goes over this, some of the burning will act like resist. In fact, it does in general, because you've changed the property of the paper or wood.
Spence says the nose.
The nose. All right. Nothing.
So on the nose, you're gonna have to leave those white highlights lit.
Yep, that's why they're circled.
And are you going to burn the whole nose, or are you burning just the shaded part?
Just the shaded
Okay.
part. Real quick, I need to get this darker circle around the eye. So it looks a little bit better.
Oh, okay. I see that's coming together.
So I could burn in lightly for the iris, or I can add color. I'm not going to stress about it. Alrighty, so the darkness of the nose needs to be similar to these dark areas. So just the tip, going in circles. Again, if you're working on hot press paper, you'll have less texture in the burn. But I'm okay with that, I think. That there's some texture. Because once I add color, it's not going to be standing out as much. Because the color will have texture too. Because it's paper. Alright. I'm trying to go darker under the bottom of the nose just to give it some depth. Because even though we're a cartoon, doesn't mean it doesn't have depth. So I'm trying to go right up against the line. Get it darker. Sorry, camera made my mouth itch. Alright. Now let's quickly and I can blend into it. But with cold press paper, you do have to embrace the texture, or you're going to get really frustrated.
So that's not something you can overcome by a technique?
Not really. Not really.
But I guess, though, if you're looking for, if you understand what kind of look that the paper gives when it's burned, you can use that.
Yes.
For
like animals that have more fur that's kind of out there, cold press paper. Works really well to help you in creating that texture. But animals that are very smooth and you want to do it on paper, it would be hot press.
So if they're short-haired, cold press?
It depends on the texture.
Or I'm sorry, if you cold press is long-haired animals.
Some long-haired animals.
Okay.
Some long-haired animals are really smooth, so you'd still use the hot press.
Oh.
So it's the texture of the hair. Yes, this is cold press, but you can use hot press.
What's the difference again between hot press and cold press? I mean,
the texture.
Okay. And cold press is it's a smoother texture, isn't it?
No, hot press is.
Hot press is okay.
Think of it if you can't remember if hot press is smooth or not. Think of an iron. Hot iron press. Hot press.
That makes sense.
Yep.
I should know that.
You should.
But that does make sense to me.
Yeah. I need to darken this. It needs to go between this and this.
Back when I was painting t-shirts with airbrush, if you want to get fine detail on the shirts, you have to iron them and size them. You do that with a hot iron, so that's hot press.
There you go.
Yeah, and if you're doing cold press, which is essentially you're not doing much at all with it, it's going to be fuzzier. So like for airbrush work, hot press is always preferable.
Yeah, I don't have the hot press out. Hot press to show, but think of cardstock. Thicker cardstock is kind of what hot press is.
Yeah, okay.
But watercolor with sizing and whatnot.
Got it.
But it's the same texture as what cardstock is.
And Kathy says, "Good to know. I tried paper once. Not a good experience." Well,
it
you know, as you get, maybe try it again. See how you feel now.
As you can tell, I keep trying to change my mindset because I start going back into my perfectionist. And some with time with paper, you got to sometimes go with it.
Well, it looks pretty good to me.
I'm just trying to darken up some of the areas.
Okay.
It's one of those where you see something, so you move to the next, and you move to the next.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what's going on here.
Yes, that is how I work as well. I think that's a good way to work too, because then you don't end up just zeroing in on one part of whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
So.
And I'll flip my paper so you can see. There's probably going to be some burning residue, heat residue, so meaning the paper's showing some bleed through, but it's not going to be a lot. But yeah, I can use, for the thicker lines, I can use this tip to darken, and it's been working pretty well. So let's see here. Antlers are throwing me off because they are lighter. Maybe if I do this real quick. And there's ovals. A lot of people like to burn on arches, but I actually like the results better with fluid.
I think to burn on arches. Doesn't McDonald's have an issue with that? Pyrographers coming around trying to do pyrography on their sign. What are you doing? I'm making art. Get out of here, you pyrographer.
You think you'd be burning plastic?
Kathy is asking, you can burn on leather, right?
Yep. Yes, you can.
It smells.
It smells. Veggie tan. You don't want to use any of the regular dyed. You want veggie tan with no dye.
Because if you use regular tanning...
there's a bunch of even worse chemicals in the
nasty
vegetable.
chemicals that get released.
Yep.
You know, and you don't think it's much, but you know what? Because you don't know. And I can remember this one time. I was I had a pair of gloves that had a hole in them, and I decided that I would repair them with super glue because that's what I had at the moment because I was in the Army, and I was like, well, I need to repair this hole in my glove, but I don't got anything but super glue, so I'm gonna try it anyway. As soon as that super glue hit the glove, it reacted chemically with whatever dyes and chemicals were in the leather, and it about knocked me out. It was just a puff of smoke, and it was lethal. That was if I felt really awful, like for a good amount of time, for like a good 10-15 minutes, and I've never done that again. So it just goes to show you that, like, if you think that it's not going to be an issue, but just a small chemical reaction can create a huge issue. So veggie
tan, and it does smell. I found myself falling asleep every time I was burning on leather.
Huh. Spencer, he tried to burn on what he thought was canvas, but it melted.
Ooh.
Then that had plastic in it.
Yeah. You want raw canvas. Oh, I wonder if he used a canvas that was gessoed.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
was it just a canvas like on stretchers that you just bought from like a hobby store? Because if so, that wasn't raw canvas. It has gesso on it, and that's what melted.
Yeah, and gesso should be chalk.
Chalk and acrylic, though.
And acrylic, yeah. But depending on the quality of it, it may have more or less of one of those components.
Yep.
And if it has more acrylic, then it can be quite melty.
Yep. So you need raw canvas to burn on, and you can get it in a lighter color. I'm not sure the ones that are white, are those dyed, or is that natural fiber?
The white ones?
Mm-hmm.
Bleached?
Like canvas shoes or canvas bags. Are those... Oh, those are bleached.
Yeah,
That's
those are
right.
bleached.
Yeah.
But if it... Like raw canvas has kind of like a cream color to it, and like an off-white. And
in fact, I have some because of you.
And it feels... like a natural fiber.
In that white basket right there, there's canvas right there on top.
I see. There you go.
Yeah. This is raw canvas. It's cutting off of Jason's.
It was a small bag like a pencil case. It was probably treated.
It was painted. It was painted with acrylic.
Yeah.
It was painted with acrylic, and that's what melted. This is raw canvas. And you can run it through the washing machine. I wouldn't use softener, but you can run it through the washing machine and then iron it. That way you get any leftover stuff that's just in fabric when it's processed, and then burn on that.
So Shirley says chromium is a major component in tan leather, and that is correct.
Yep.
Because that is toxic, and that's why you want vegetable tanned leather.
Yep. I need to do something.
Why did you do that?
I just was putting it over there.
You're going to have to use the keyboard.
Why do I need to use the keyboard?
Well, it's almost 7 minutes past.
I don't need a keyboard to say the stuff I need to say. So I will keep burning this guy. He's starting to come along, I think. I'm going to have to be a little more careful around the cup because the lines are thinner. So I'll probably use the 9M or 9MS for that. Trying to think.
If you are going to burn on canvas, like I would recommend, correct me if I'm wrong.
Right? I will.
I know you will.
I will.
But if you're going to do that, because it's fuzzy, and so it would be good if you maybe stretched it out and hit it with an iron, maybe some water to knock down the fibers.
Well, that's why I said wash it. And then you could actually dry it with an iron.
Yeah, I would definitely do it.
And that'll press the fibers.
You need to push those fibers down.
Yep.
That's really important.
Yep.
But don't burn it, because then that's like defeating the purpose. Because then you have a big iron mark on it.
Yes.
So.
Andrea says she has brown raw canvas from Hobby Lobby. Yep, you can use that.
Yep.
You can use it.
Huh.
In fact, I probably should do a canvas piece.
I don't know, Spence. I mean, there's something in there. If they're melting, there's something in there that is not raw cotton canvas. So
yeah, there's
some artificial fibers that are present that are causing it, because they shouldn't be melting.
no,
So.
they shouldn't. There's if it's melting, there's plastic somewhere, whether it's painted or gessoed. I want the bags already made. Now I have to just paint on them.
Yeah. Well, acrylic works for that. If that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
it comes down to.
Yeah. Yeah. Acrylic would be fine, but I just wouldn't burn them unless they're made of raw canvas. I don't know if you can find anybody that makes raw canvas pencil cases. Actually, I don't know why you wouldn't find that. And the reason I'm saying that is because they do have pencil cases that are like... Where is it? Where is it? Although this isn't one of them. This is leather. I have one. It's going to be in my watercolor bag. That's why I can't find it. But they have pencil cases that are raw canvas that are like these that have the but this is a fancy one. I got this in our Smart Art box that has the pockets like this. You can find raw canvas ones like these that roll. They roll.
Like I have one that's raw.
I thought I had one in here, but I guess I don't, or it's put away. I hate when I put things away because then I can't find them again.
Yes, that happens.
I think I put it in one place and then that's not where it's at. But you can get raw roll-up canvases.
Burl has a question.
Yes.
For watercolors, is that where you use the spray that she forgot the name of?
On wood. UV spray.
Ah.
UV spray. Any color that I add, regardless of the kind, I use UV spray. Actually, I've gotten to the point where I UV spray all the pieces, whether they have color or not, and then seal them. I did have a company contact me about doing some reviews, and I got to pick 2 products to review. One's going to be watercolor pencils that are not artist grade or professional grade, which is totally fine, and then resin. So I'm going to seal. I actually may seal the squirrel to test the resin. I may seal the squirrel once I'm done with it, but I'll still UV spray it.
That's not. I guess Burl was asking something else. Not
For
UV. The
bleeding.
one for bleeding.
Oh, that wasn't a spray. I know exactly what he's talking about. That is... gotta remember where I put it.
What is it?
It is called Watercolor Ground.
Huh.
I got my pencil ground there. Where did I put my watercolor ground?
Well, you could describe it.
Well, it's easier to show. Although, you could use for watercolor. Where is that? What I did for the flowers is called Golden Watercolor Ground. And you brush it on. You have to do a couple of layers after you seal the wood. Brush on a couple of layers of the watercolor ground. You have to let each layer sit for 24 hours. And then you can watercolor on it. It acts a little different than watercolor paper. But the point is to give it the tooth it needs for the paint.
Ah.
And then I would UV spray it again. And then varnish it. So it's watercolor ground. And it's not a spray. It comes in a container that you brush on.
Okay.
I have that in the watercolor flowers, adding color to the flowers. I'll send you the link on that one. So that's what that is. That's what that is. So do we got any more questions?
I don't know.
I'm hungry.
I appreciate it. Oh, the likes. Thank you.
We won't see the dislikes because YouTube took that away. So we won't know if that person's been here.
Oh, okay.
So, masking fluid would block. Is that what he's...
I don't know.
Oh, from bleeding. Yeah, masking fluid. I've never used masking fluid on wood. I know other artists do it. I don't know how well it comes up. I don't know any of that.
It has its purposes, but I dislike it personally because it's messy and it is a finicky medium to work with. So
yeah,
not my favorite.
Not your favorite.
No.
For watercolors, it works though.
Sonia says, good class. Thanks.
Thank y'all.
Carrie says, great stream. Love. Thank you. All stay safe. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
You as well.
And we will, next week will be a longer live because I'm painting and hopefully can quickly put the card together so you guys can see that. How I do that.
Okay.
Do you get any?
The spray Burl asked about the other day that you said you didn't use.
Workable fixative.
Oh, okay.
That's what okay, yes. Workable fixative. That's what I don't use. Will that work with watercolors? Workable fixative tends to be for dry medium, so colored pencil
Yes.
and pencil.
Carmen says, great live. Kathy says, bye, kids. Bye, Kathy. Thank you, Carmen. So, workable fixative is usually a spray.
Yeah, here it is.
Which means different additives and stuff. So, you definitely wouldn't want to use that in conjunction with pyrography because as soon as you spray it.
Okay.
Well, there's stuff that it's chemicals.
Protects pencil, pastel, and chalk drawing. So, this is for dry medium.
Yep.
So, if you were putting pastels, or they call them pastel.
Pastels.
I'm like caught in between two dialects. Pastels. That's here.
And it's pastels.
And it's pastels everywhere else.
Yep.
So if you were using pastels on wood and you wanted to lock in that color, then you would use the workable fixative. But that's for pencils.
If you're in Italy, it's El Pasta.
I don't think
I'm pretty sure that's correct.
No.
I don't have any confirmation on it. It sounds right, so it must be right.
No. So I don't know how. I don't know.
I'm just saying, don't burn over this.
Oh no! You don't burn over any product. That's not what he's asking
that's
about.
flammable.
Yes. Oh no! Hold on. I was just reading the front of the can. Back of the can says used for pencil, charcoal, Conte, watercolor, Indian ink, and crayons. So, and can be used on wood.
But you don't want.
Give it a try.
But you don't want to burn after
No.
you've applied this.
No. He's not. He's talking about.
I'm doing my job. I'm safety manager.
The purpose of workable fixative.
I have like 3 jobs here. Okay, safety's one of them. I press the button. I do safety, and I bring you stuff, and I pick up stuff that you drop. That's what I do.
Shall I toss this? So
why not?
Based on that, you can use it with watercolors. But here's the thing: what I don't know is if this is used. It's possible that this is used. Somebody's painted a watercolor painting. They spray this on it, and then they take a dry medium to it. This allows colored pencil or pastels or whatnot to be done over the watercolor.
Yes.
And continue working on the piece.
That is correct.
That's what that is. So it's not to add more watercolor because you can't add watercolor on top of this. That's why it is. So I wasn't wrong. This is to protect the watercolors, and then you spray this, and then you can add colored pencil or any other dry mediums on top of it. This is for dry medium. It can be used on watercolors, but it's for dry medium to go on top of it. That's what that is.
Spence, are you talking
So I
about
wasn't
her or
wrong.
me? I'm not hangry.
But you do get hangry. I don't.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So, no. You can't paint over this with watercolors. That's not the purpose of it.
Right.
Watercolor Ground, on the other hand, you can paint over with watercolors. So did I answer it that time?
I think you answered all variations of it.
Oh, look, we don't have any bleed through, actually. I thought we might get some with the high heat, but because this is so thick, we didn't.
Well, that's awesome.
Yes. I think it might actually be a cute card.
I think so.
I don't know. I might keep it for myself and just frame it.
Well, make prints of it, silly. So that we can do cards. And then you'll have the original.
He said both. But I don't get hangry. He does.
Oh.
He does.
But you get something, though, when you get hungry.
What do I get?
Annoying. I love you. I love you. I love you. Oh, God.
I think it's time to go.
No, we could stay. Let's hang out.
Now, we're going now.
No,
we're going now.
No, I don't want to go.
We're going now, so say it with me. You know what to
It with
say.
me.
You're awesome. You can do this. Why?
Hangry.
Because you're a pyro
You're the hangry one.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Happy burning, guys. Bye.
Whatever. I don't care.
Yes, you do.
Right.